everyone, today I am here to do a tag video. Today I am doing the Campfire Tag, and I am very excited for this because I don't like camping whatsoever. I'm not a camper, but I love bonfires and campfires and just going out for the night to do just that, but not camping. But either way, I'm very excited to do this tag because it reminds me of fall. And fall starts like next week, so I'm very excited for it. I hope that my state gets the memo that it's fall coming up soon because it's still 85 degrees here. That's nice. Jaded Reader created this tag, so I will link her video down below. I saw it over on Allie on Hardback Quarters channel, where I get all of my tag videos from. That girl does so many amazing tags, so thank you, Allie, for providing me with many tags to do. I highly appreciate it, and I love them all. So yeah, I'll link both of their videos down below for you to check out. So let's get into the Campfire Tag. The first question is to build a tent, a book you had to read that ended up being a drag. So for me, a book that I had to read reminds me a lot of high school books that, you know, require reading in English classes. And for the majority, I did actually really enjoy the books that were like required reading. I know, I'm so lame, but there were a few that I just did not overall like. And one of them is a classic, and it's a very well-loved classic, and that is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I don't know. If I were to reread this now, I might enjoy it, but back when I was 17, oh, I hated this book. I think because it was so long and it was just so much, and I felt like it was very repetitive, and we would have 5 pages and it would be just a freaking full-length description in those 5 pages. I don't know. This was like over 10 years ago I'm saying this, so my feelings could change if I want to reread it. I don't know if I will, but that's just one book I remember very vividly that I had to read that I didn't really enjoy. So I hope I'm not rattling any cages by telling you I don't love Great Expectations. I'm sorry. Next question is to build a fire. A book that you are proud of finishing. I don't know. I guess Harry Potter. I remember very vividly when I finished Harry Potter, also at the age of 17. It may have been 18. It was probably 18 actually. I was very proud that I completed that whole series, and I read them multiple times even before the whole series had finished. I just remember feeling a big sense of accomplishment when I finished the Deathly Hallows, and I officially finished the last chapter, the very last book in the series. I felt very accomplished. So that is a book series that I feel very proud of finishing. As far as like other ones, I don't know. There's been a lot of fantasies that I've been proud of finishing because they haven't been the best, and I've been like really forcing myself to read them. I can't think of any other ones other than Harry Potter. You know what though? Come back in a year when I finally have read The Book Thief, and I will totally use it for this question because that is a book that I will be like, I am so proud of finishing because it's been on my TBR forever and I feel ashamed about it, and I know you're ashamed about it for me. That is one. That's going to be a to be determined answer for this question because I will finish it one day and I will be proud as heck when I finish it. Next question is roasted marshmallow, which is one of my favorite things in the world. Like, I have a weird obsession with s'mores. Like, anything s'mores flavored, I will consume. It's a mushy sweet book that you couldn't help but devour, and that's exactly what I call all of my YA contemporary books that I love. For this one, I'm going to go with Listen to Your Heart by Casey West. This is her latest release, and I loved it. All of her books are just mushy, gushy, like a freaking marshmallow. They're just squishy and they're just squishy, and they're just so adorable that you can't help but love them because they're just sweet. I mean, you're not going to walk away from this book like with a ton of depth. It's going to be a really freaking cute time, and I really enjoyed it. Another one, in case you're not wanting a YA one, is The Simple Wild by Kay Tucker. This one's a little bit more serious, not so mushy gushy, but the romance in it was very mushy, and I loved every second of it. This is about a girl. Oh, I should probably tell you about these books are about. This is about a girl that starts a podcast, and it's kind of like a love advice podcast, and you can guess what happens. This one is about a girl that visits Alaska because her father is dying, and her dad owns like a charter pilot business, and it's basically about Alaska. Then she meets a rugged pilot, and obviously you can guess where both of these are go. Either way, these are very mushy, like straight up roasted marshmallows, which is amazing. This question is Gone Fishing, a book that had you hooked from the first chapter. I have so many of these, but the one I'm going to go with that I've read very recently, excuse me, pumpkin, is going to be The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Evelyn Hugo is a book that, yes, is super hyped and I'm sure you've heard about it because everyone's been talking about it, but I loved it and it had me reeled from the very first page. It is a book that you can finish very, very quickly. It had me hooked. I love it. I want to reread it already. We have Skipping Rocks, a book or series you DNF'd. This is quite interesting because I don't DNF a ton, but I DNF a fair few. My only problem is I don't remember what books I've DNF'd, because when I DNF them, I usually donate them or I just get them off my shelf because I'm not going to finish them, and then I just don't log that I DNF'd them. So that's a question also for you guys. Do you, if you're a Goodreads user or if you like write down the books you read, do you write down the books that you have not finished that you just want to remember that you didn't finish, or do you just not even bother with them? I feel like I should start writing it down because I think I've DNF'd like 5 or 6 books this year, which isn't a lot, but it's quite a lot for me, and I only remember one of them I've DNF'd, so I need to get better about that. So yeah, let me know. Do you record the books you DNF, or do you just like forget about them? I could be horrible. But the only one I can remember that I DNF'd this year is The Last Equation of Isaac Severy. I don't know who it was by, but I went into it thinking it's going to be like a clue type of book with like a murder mystery thing happening with like the element of books involved, and it really wasn't like that at all. I got to page 100 maybe, and I just was like, I don't feel this, and that's okay. Everyone has different opinions when it comes to DNFing. I have learned I'm okay with it. I used to really push myself to finish them. Now, if I don't love them, I just put them aside. So that's the last one I can remember. That's the last one that I remember I DNF'd. Or maybe it wasn't the last one. I don't know, because I didn't write them down. Let me know your thoughts about that. Next question is Campfire Songs. A book so good, you are always singing its praise. So many. I mean, Evelyn Hugo, I'm going to talk about a lot. The one in particular I have talked about nonstop this year is definitely The Nightingale by Kristen Hand. This is a historical fiction book. I'm also proud of finishing for this one because it's a big book. It's over 500 pages. I always, always, always rave about that as one of my favorite books from this year. As far as YA, I can't think of any in particular. Oh, Reaper at the Gates. I've been singing its praises a lot for that one. That's a really great one. That's the 3rd book in the Ember and Ashes series. It's gonna be another thing that's interesting this year. Is a lot of my favorite books this year are adult books. I've read quite a few YA books, but there's not been a lot that I've just loved and sing its praises constantly. So the question is The Night Sky, a book that made you think deeply about the world. What I'm picking is The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin. I read this at the beginning of the year, and I still think about it quite a lot. It's about these 3 siblings that it starts off in the 70s, and they're young, and they go visit this fortune teller or psychic, and she can predict the date that you're going to die. And so she tells all 3 of these siblings, or maybe it's 4. It's 4 of them, I'm sorry. So she tells the date that all these 4 children are going to die, and basically you follow each one of them through their life and how this psychic has kind of set a course for their life. Or did she? Is like this predetermined, or did they happen, or did they? It made me think so much about just like destiny and fate in particular. Like, you know, was this fated to happen, or did the character do this themselves, or did they have this path that was already set out before them? It's very, very interesting. It made me think a lot. Highly recommend it, especially for a book club book, because you can discuss so many things about this book. So this one for sure made me think a lot about the world in general. And the last question is The Terror, a book that's ending was bittersweet. I feel like a lot of books these days endings are bittersweet, which I like sometimes, but the majority I want like a nice full circle when it comes to an ending. Picking for this is The Dinner List by Rebecca Searle. I just finished this last month. It's a very, very short book. It's only 270 pages, and it just ended. It was such a bittersweet ending. Like when I finished the book, I felt like kind of sad and just kind of leaving kind of feeling unfulfilled, because it does not have like a full circle to it. It just kind of is open-ended, and it's kind of bittersweet because it leaves on a good note, but kind of, I don't know, bittersweet, like I keep saying over and over again. Bittersweet ending. That was the Campfire book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed. I always love a good seasonal tag, and I always love a good campfire filled with s'mores and roasting hot dogs and just fall and bonfires. Goodness gracious, it needs to like get cooler here because it's too freaking hot. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.